Welcome to Windows Deployment Services Server 2019. Now the first thing we have to do is we have to install Windows Deployment Services. And we do this on a domain network. Okay, I'm going to put this on a domain controller, which is really not suggested. Now, once we have it installed, we have to configure it. I'm going to use Active Directory integration. This is a virtual machine, so I'm just using OneDrive and putting it on my C drive. Again, you should use a separate drive. For example purposes, we're going to respond to all client computers, known and unknown. And I'm going to use a Windows 10 install ISO. So we're just going to add my images for installation.
Leningrad was in danger, but its workers had risen like one man in its defense. Together with their bombs, enemy planes were dropping leaflets. They said they would raise.
Now this has several different images in it.
They thought they would frighten us.
So I make an image group. If you wanted, you could just select one image, like say Windows 10 Pro, or Windows 10 Enterprise, or Windows 10 Home. It doesn't really matter. This is taking a bit longer than what I want, so I'm going to speed things up a bit. Finally. So you can see I've got all my installed images and a boot image. Of course, I'm doing this all on a virtual machine, and there we go. It tried to use the network boot. And I have hit an enter to continue. Now WDS is sending the boot image to my network computer. So it's a standard Windows 10 boot install. And our normal Windows 10 setup. Here you can see it is Windows Deployment Services that is managing this setup. Way too many English languages lately. Now here I have to enter the network information, or correction, I have to enter my network's information to install. And of course, here's all my images that are in the indexes on the install win. This is standard Windows 10 install. Now this can all be automated if you use the auto unattend XML. Now we've all seen a Windows 10 install, so instead of watching paint dry, we'll just carry on. I'm going to change the settings in Windows Deployment Services to ensure that machines don't just, boot Windows, is that the administrator has to approve a machine. And the approval can also specify which image to install if you have many images. But I'll take a look through all of our settings, which are in the properties, and I'll just leave most of them at the defaults. Now, of course, now the defaults are okay for a lot of the situations that you're going to encounter. Oh, I have a spelling error. I'm going to change that. Now you see here is that the Windows Deployment Service Administrator has to approve, and the client will just wait. So on the computer which hosts Windows Deployment Services, is you have to go and look for pending approvals in Windows Deployment Services. So you bring up the WDS tool, and you'll see that there's a Windows machine that's waiting, and the time, and now I'll have to set the identity. Now, this didn't work for me. I uh, like none of these options, like the computer name, the join the domain, and so forth, did not work. So I'm gonna have to read up a bit on it. But this is just, a quick demonstration of how Windows Deployment Services should be working. Well, with multicast, you can have several machines installing at the same time, and as they need to get, and they don't have to start all at the exact same moment. It's if they're missing a piece, is they will get it at the end. Now, to be honest, I really recommend that you use the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit and put the information, okay, in this way, you can automate your installs, almost 100%. A little, okay, because MDT is a light touch installation instead of a zero touch installation, you will have to adjust a few things. You can make it almost zero touch or even zero touch by specifying which installation you're going to do, and if you have configured it so that nothing is needed, like administrative password, computer name, and so forth. So that's client number 1 almost completely configured. We've managed to go through the out-of-box experience. And client number 2 is still installing. And now it started its out-of-box experience. And of course, once the installation was completed, it now goes out of the approved.